JB Cycles with an update on September the 15th. So it is kind of embarrassing how the market has tricked me the past recent weeks, because, going back around this point, I said this was much too steep, much too bullish and euphoric, and very possible we could have a steep drop here. But as always, I'm looking for ABCs, something like this. That's exactly what we got. But I think this pop-up here confused me, and then this very steep pullback confused me, and now this very steep rebound got me confused. But looking back, that was exactly what I was looking for. So we have an A, B, C, and we are in this C move, and it's possible that it will have a subwave of A, B, C. And we see, recently we have not been that well aligned with my cycle. This top came very late, this low came very late, and now we are rallying despite the cycle going down, and we see on Monday, well, the cycle is making a low the next couple of days and into the Fed decision. So there is not much time left for any pullback here. That's a bullish, possible bullish sign, suggesting we could have a small dip here and then another push to the upside. So we had what I call a 10-week cycle, or a 10-week oscillation low back here, and the next low should then be, say, that was early August, and that brings us into early October. So we are still looking for where is the top of this 10-week oscillation, and then we should have a low around early October. Also, recently I've been talking about geomagnetic storms, and I had this scenario. We broke down early here in orange compared with the scenario, and we see we are not correlating well with this scenario. And the scenario still suggests it is possible this is some kind of a double top, and we could crash down from here. But I think I should not put too much weight into these geomagnetic storms, because we are at solar maximum, and we just had another storm on September the 12th, and we have a forecast for another storm tomorrow. And then when you have all these geomagnetic storms, you no longer know, are we influenced by the most recent one, or the previous one a couple of weeks ago, or the one before that. There are too many storms, and then you lose the edge, or the scenarios are worthless. So, not talking about those anymore. We have my 3 cycles. The composite has a low around September the 20th, and it's then bullish into the election. So it looks like time is running out for bears. I had some requests looking into the history of these cycles. I don't have time for that today, but here you see the 17-week cycle works very good most of the time, not that much here early 23. Also we have the quarterly cycle, and then more dominant 6-month cycle working pretty well. Looking into the average of the recent past years in blue, we see the quarterly cycle lows mid-March, June, September, December, but this year in red has not been correlating that well to that cycle. So yeah, time is running out for bears, it looks like here. And we have my longer term, we have the 3.5-year cycle making a top. So earlier this year I said my trading rules actually say it's forbidden to take short position into this point around November. So I said we will have a bull market going will continue all this year. But it is possible we could make an early top this fall. And you can see the history of this cycle here. Just stop the video and take a look at this. And this cycle works for over 200 years actually. So, but this is the past 70 years. So I had a scenario here, two scenarios, and recently the red scenario has been my favorite, suggesting we could top around the election. However, last weekend I started to wonder, was it a double top? Are we crashing down with the green one? But now it looks like we are back on the path for the red one. Also, I had this cycle, the 73.5 week cycle. You can see the history of this cycle going back. You can stop the video and have a look here. And here you have the next interval. You can see here. I think I have marked lows with red and some of the tops with blue. Especially where the tops are at an inverted cycle or two cycle that has merged. Here you see them going back to the 1950s. And we have this phenomenon where the market tops around the cycle low. And that is possibly the case here. And if we look at this analog just from the recent bull market top, we could be that we are now in this phase where we are making some volatile moves up and down and making the final topping formation. Yeah, that's my main scenario. So let's see, we have the VIX projection. I drew these two scenarios in green and red a couple of weeks ago, and I think possibly they still are kind of in play, just not the way I expect them to. So yeah, it is possible we could just crash down, making this a double top and a bigger double top. Still possible, but not not likely. It's very small percentage, yeah, for that. I would rather see some kind of a dip and then up to a possible final top and some kind of a sideways consolidation into early October, and then rallying up to the election. So, looking at the wavelets for the S&P daily data, we have this, what I call the 10-week oscillation. This one was a bit long one, and this was very identical, but also a long oscillation. So are we in such one right now? That could suggest the top is quite a while ahead. This current situation is similar to these two, but they are kind of different, because at this point we see we are in a clear uptrend from this top and into this point. The next one, the trend is not that strong, but still in an uptrend. However, now we see we have not broken the all-time high. We have still not broken the top just a couple of weeks ago, but still we could have a breakout to the upside here. Because if you look at these two, how they continued, well, could be that we are in such a scenario, and the top is a couple of weeks ahead. Also possible that we are seeing that we are getting into trouble, more volatility, chopping around, and we could have some kind of a breakdown. But that does not fit with my cycles that are, say, time is running out for bears, and that soon we should look for upside into November. So I have been very much confused about the markets going back, where the Nasdaq started to outperform and the other markets were weak. So markets or the sectors are not in sync, confusing me quite a bit. And then we have the hourly data. I said it was possible we could rally up to an all-time high in this 2-week oscillation. I didn't think we would, but we almost did. But now it's going down, but maybe market will just go sideways. We have to see. This oscillation suggests weakness into around Thursday. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Yeah. See you.